Go.
Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Press X Podcast, episode 33, your weekly podcast from nerdy news and opinions, coming at you each and every Monday at noon Eastern. I am Kevin McManus. With me, as always, Kellen Willard.
What's up?
And with us for the first time, the anti-Kevin himself, the man with all the wrong opinions.
Me, a player too. We have
Nick
Kellen
Hassel.
Miller.
Nick Hassel.
Hello.
How are you?
Coming off a sick week, but doing pretty good.
Just apologizing for your voice ahead of time, so people won't
it is
harp
not
on
the
it.
microphone's fault. Hopefully, this week
It
it was my fault.
It might actually be. We had a very
Trying
bad.
to bail you out there.
We had a very bad microphone problem last week.
You
that
had a bad
ended
microphone
with,
problem last week.
That ended with, after recording. So hopefully we don't have that this week. So if it sounds awful, we should probably shut the fan off just in case it does happen again.
Why?
I like the fan.
I'm not going to. So Nick, just before we hop into what we're playing and everything, just so people know, what is your style, games, things like that? What are you into? This needs to go over here.
So compared to bad taste and not too many games per year, I like to play a lot of games per year and good games.
And they're all awful?
To balance you two out. More of an RPG lately, so I like
We agree on Japanese RPGs to an extent.
newer
Captain Persona shirt.
newer, yeah.
He is wearing a P3
newer
shirt.
Japanese RPGs, yeah,
Mhm.
because they finally started to be like, "Hey, West, we kind of like a few
see
of
your
these features that you do," and it's starting to bleed over a little bit. And
A
West
lot
is
of
getting
it.
a little bit of the Japanese stuff. So yeah, more RPG, more solo game related. Still like the couch co-op games, and I mean that's kind of like
all little of them that we get.
yeah.
3 we get a year.
And not so much into the FPS market anymore, but that's because it's gotten kind of dried up, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
But maybe making a resurgence. Who knows?
You like driving games too, right?
Yeah, but that market
Once again,
kinda,
dried up.
yeah, I like the Burnouts and the Mario Karts and the Crash Team Racings and all of those. So
We might talk about Crash Team Racing.
Forza
blow up your
Horizon.
friends, or set time trials on the internet and win the internet, I guess.
Win the internet.
Yeah, sports games not so much. Used to be, meh.
FIFA.
Yeah, pretty much. And MOBAs, online shooters, stuff like that. That's about it.
Everybody
Play a little
likes
bit of everything.
Everybody likes League of Legends.
Oh yeah.
Jinx is about
This
to
is a
get
bad idea.
Jinx is about to get a buff by the
So
way.
yeah, literally
Jinx
just
is the best character.
She's about to
just
get a buff.
everything. So
To her ultimate.
All right. Well, we'll learn a little bit more about that because we're going to talk about what we're playing and what we're watching. Mainly, I want to point out Gamescom happened. So most of this news and stuff that we have here is just stuff I picked from Gamescom that I thought was interesting. Feel free to add anything that you've seen that you may. I know we have different tastes. I didn't pull like any Deus Ex news or anything like that. So if
That's
you want to,
okay.
if you want to go into that, but
that might be next week.
first,
Well-
that's true. Reviews for that game, interesting, very interesting.
Yeah.
We'll talk about what we're playing and what we've been watching, etc., etc. Kellen, how about you start?
Start what?
What have you been playing?
Beat Halo 3. I'm doing a Halo a week. That game's still real good. I like it a lot.
Arguably the best one.
Probably the best one. I don't
Did you
know.
beat it as fast as you and I did on release night?
No. Did not.
I also beat it on release night.
We went through it on Legendary within a few hours. and
I
we're
did
done
Did you
not
with
at
play
least
it on
sleep
Legendary.
more than we did on release night?
it. Yeah, that's for sure. Spread it out over a couple days. On the final boss of Tokyo Mirage, it killed me twice. I'm like, I'll get back to that later.
Yeah, it was funny. We were talking about that. We won't go into spoilers, don't worry. But we were talking about that. They give you a recommended level in that game, which I really like.
Mhm.
Before you go into a fight, they're like, this is the recommended level. I was maxed out with all my characters.
were
so
99.
I just
Yeah,
went
you
and
cheesed
murdered.
it.
I just went and murdered everything. I was like, well, what level were you? And you're like, I'm the recommended.
I am exactly the recommended level, and that fight was a pain in the ass. And then he comes back, and I'm like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, I went the inverse route that you did. You did level, but I did experience like in items and abilities and stuff like that. So I've got everything maxed out. I just don't have the levels.
Right.
He did all the weapon stuff.
The DLC for that game is ridiculous.
It's a cheat code.
Yeah, it basically is. It just gives you a dungeon. It's like, do you want the dungeon that levels all your characters, the one that gives you all the abilities, or the one that, what's the third one?
Probably the stage ranks.
the books, right?
Yeah,
That
but
level up your talking about the weapons.
yeah, there's the weapons. There's just regular experience books,
Yeah.
and what's the third one? There's a third one, I think.
I think you're making that up.
No, there's a third one. I'm pretty sure it just unlocks.
It spawns the super hard things to fight. Maybe you just fight super hard. Anyway,
Probably the rare items to make.
yeah, I think it's something like that.
Yeah, it drops those. I can't think of. It's like the sparkly stuff that you trade into the guy.
Oh, you
at the
trade in
arena.
and you get to like individually max out stats
Yeah,
or
so
pick up
stats,
stats. Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. Anyway, those were busted. I just spent like 2 hours there and maxed out my
It's
character.
literally
Yeah, I don't
like-
have those, so.
It's literally like a game shark.
It was,
So you kind of have to earn it. I
yeah,
guess, through hours,
it was
but-
awesome.
Yeah, I'm beating my head against the wall.
Anything else?
What else did I do? Play a little League, the usual.
Yeah, just
Nothing
tack
special.
that on to every time.
All the time.
It's kind of how I feel. I'm like, Uncharted 4.
Uncharted, yeah.
I'll go next, then you can hop in. I've been playing No Man's Sky.
Oh, yeah, I played that.
Really, really, really like that game. Definitely the buggiest PS4 game I've played. You're playing on PC.
My PC version worked perfectly fine. I don't know.
I've
what the
never had a
complaints
PS4
were.
game crash, open it up, do the same thing, and then it just instantly crashes again. Lots of crashing in that game. But overall, I think the negatives the
Backwards.
positives far outweigh the negatives for that game, and most of my negatives were technical things like that I know they're
Yeah, I only
working
had
on.
one technical glitch, and it was static in the audio.
They
You-
patched it, and I haven't had a problem since the patch, but I know people have.
all I did was go into my speaker settings and change one thing, and it just went away. I was like, okay, cool.
So I did a review of that. I gave it an 8. Really liked that game. I
Fair
enjoyed
enough.
it quite a lot. I'm canceling my GameFly thing. They made me mad at customer support. I was like, hey, your game took 14 days to get here, and you shipped another one, and it took 3 days to get here, and the other one showed up.
I
So,
have 2 copies of the same
yeah, I
thing.
have 2 copies of the same game. What should I do? Because I didn't want to keep one. Some people are like, you can keep it. I was like, that's scummy.
No, no, no.
And I was like, they were like, mail one back. And I was like, okay. And I was like, you do realize your game took 14 days to
Waiting
get to
2
me,
weeks,
right?
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, mail it back. So I mail it back, and they wouldn't mail me my second game until that one came back. Like, they put it on my account as a game I had
You
2
have
copies
2
of
of.
the same game.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm done with this. So I got a PS2 game from them because I can beat it quickly, and then ship them both back and cancel the membership. It's The Suffering Ties That Bind, which is a PS2 game I hadn't played before, so I'm totally new to it. I played the first one, I guess, to be fair, but it's a sequel to one that I've never played before. Really like it. I forget how much I like the PS2. It's a great console.
It's all right.
It's really good.
It's okay.
I took mine apart, put it back together, and sold it. So, you know.
It's especially good for survival horror.
It was good for the $100 I got for it to buy an Xbox.
Well, that's fair. Like original Xbox.
Oh yeah.
So I could play Halo.
It was just that generation was really good for survival horror because the consoles were so limited that they had to make Suffering's a survival horror game. They had to make the areas small and like claustrophobic just due to the restrictions of the console, but that also helps just the game, and because it's a survival horror game. Whereas when you play like a Silent Hill game on PS3, like every door is just like, this door's broken, this door's busted, this door, and there's like 500 doors because they can. And it's like, all right, guys,
Where am I
this
going?
just looks stupid. You got to come up with a better excuse, like 700 doors in for why the door
They're all
doesn't
nailed
open.
You don't
shut.
have this key. You don't have that key.
Yeah, it was annoying. So anyway, I was playing through that. Really like it. I'm halfway done it. I played it for like 2.5 hours, which is crazy. I forgot how short PS2 games can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't much to them.
But really enjoying it. Played more Shantae. I don't think I even talked about it the first time I played it. I just put a couple hours into it. Not a big Metroidvania fan. The game's a little too Metroidvania for me. Same with Ori. I'm like, I'm not the biggest into these type things, but it has Zelda-like dungeons. So you like go into a dungeon, you do the whole dungeon area, and then you leave and you're back in the open world map. So that's cool. Having fun with it. Not too much to say. Really like the character. She turns into a monkey. It's great.
What?
Don't worry about it. And then finally, Titanfall 2. Just played a little of the trial thing. It's more Titanfall.
Buying that game
Yeah, it's more Titanfall.
for PC at least.
Did you like Titanfall?
Yes, for the whole week that I played it.
That's a lot of
But,
people's opinions, yeah.
I've got like a roaming group of online shooter people that I play with. So it's one of those, can a game really be bad if you have like the full 4, 5, 6-man team that
Yeah.
you've been playing with since Halo 2?
That's very true. So are you interested in any of the
plethora of
triangle
shit.
of
Yeah.
shooters coming out soon?
I've said for like 10 years that you can't make World War I interesting, I guess, without a DC character at the helm.
Wow.
I'll at least see that. But like World War One is just not interesting.
No, yeah, it's really not.
So aside from maybe like the occasional train kill that you can get in that game, I doubt.
I think
it'll
that
be
game
much
looks
fun.
mediocre.
Yeah,
I think it's
weird-
the worst of the three.
It's a weird
Otherwise,
setting.
I would normally be hoisting the Battlefield banner because I mean that's just the most enjoyable out of the long-running ones that I usually play. Call of Duty, I'll probably buy it just to get the old game.
That's my game plan. Yeah.
Titanfall 2, I don't know. Maybe they should release a demo for
PC.
PC.
Yeah. Do we know? Is it only a PS4 thing or is it PS4 Xbox? Do you know?
The alpha.
Yeah, I have it on
I don't know.
PS4.
I think
I don't
it's
know.
just PS4.
That's so weird.
I'm not
maybe.
sure.
It would be so weird.
Yeah, because my
Titanfall was Xbox exclusive.
my
Yeah.
Xbone bundle was Titanfall. so that would be interesting if it is just Sony.
Yeah.
Just go around.
What have you been playing and watching? The anime list should be rearing its head.
I won't go too far into the anime list just because I've been like bedridden all week, so I couldn't like handle playing too many games. But yeah, it's been an anime week for me. But for games, finished the last Witcher 3 DLC. Finally got around to it. None of you guys care. It's really amazing.
I mean, I kind of.
I mean, a lot of people.
It looks
That
good.
DLC is probably better than 99% of RPGs.
I just want to play that DLC. It looks good.
What is it? The blood one?
Yeah.
Blood and Wine.
No.
Yeah.
Lots of vampires.
Oh, really?
Stuff that
I don't know
Kevin would
anything
love.
about it.
Yeah.
Played a little bit more Tokyo Mirage. I think I'm like 50% the way through, at least as far as chapters.
You're just
and-
like inching through that game.
yeah.
I think you are probably closer to finishing it than you think it was, or than you think you are.
I think I'm pretty close.
so. I will probably be prioritizing that this week. Started a new game plus of Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah.
Because
Game's
I
alright.
spent most of my week watching Persona. So,
The
it
anime.
just kind of
All the animes.
Very good
naturally leads
anime.
itself into like, oh, I should play it again.
I'm already here,
Um,
so.
And yeah, that's about it for games, unfortunately.
Kind of light. Just too much
Yeah.
anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I said, it's been more
Didn't
of a,
you watched 4, Golden, 3, the
All the
movies,
three
All
movies.
four
and then
movies.
started the playthrough of
It's
Golden?
been a Persona week,
I mean, I can't argue
as
with
Fair
that.
enough.
not indicated by my shirt.
That's fair.
But yeah, this was more of a hey, I'm really sick, I'm gonna lie in bed and watch stuff kind of week. So this will be more gaming oriented coming up, especially since Deus Ex comes out.
According to my list, yes. It's on there.
Really excited.
I mean, I believe you.
I know. You probably printed it out.
I definitely printed it out. Gareth wrote it, though.
Yeah. He's more
Good guy,
useful than you.
Gareth. He very much is. All right, let's move into the news. Just kind of light news, lots of rumors, nothing too crazy. A couple announcements, but nothing too big. We can talk about Rime really quick. Not too much news here. Rime was the Tequila Works Sony game, very Shadow of the Colossus looking PS4
okay.
game. I think it was at the reveal event that they revealed this game. A year, 2 years, maybe later, we did a report that Sony took back their kits from them and kicked them off, and they're like, "You have the IP, we're done here."
Yeah.
And then they got picked up by GameStop's publishing company, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe GameStop's publishing company picked them up, or they were in talks too. Anyway, the game resurfaced. They said new info's coming out soon, and it seems like the game is, surprise, no longer a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
No kidding.
Because they kind of got kicked off that.
Y'all are taking too long. You're done.
Yeah, just kind of an announcement of an announcement. There's going to be more news. This game looked interesting to me. I was super excited. It does look like Shadow of the Colossus meets Wind Waker. It's got that like cartoony,
Cell
shaded art style. Other than that, I feel like they're very much taking it in look and probably not in gameplay, or Sony would not have kicked them off the project. So, do you remember anything about Rime?
No, but anything that's got that kind of track record of
What's wrong with
being
Duke? What's wrong with
released?
Duke Nukem Forever?
so, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Kind
it-
of scared of even looking into it at this point.
It typically
so.
doesn't turn out well when another game that did this was Remember Me for the PlayStation.
And
which
nobody remembers it.
Yeah, I don't remember it at all.
somebody
Yeah.
made that comment last week. They were they were comparing Quantum Break to Remember Me, saying it's just as forgettable. I actually liked Remember Me. I can't tell you the plot though, so there's that. But I remember
Answers my
enjoying the
question.
combat in that game because it
You're
was
probably
cool.
supposed to remember that.
Yeah. Well, the whole idea was she couldn't remember. Anyway, very
Doing a good
similar.
job.
Sony kicked the team off that. Not kicked the team off, but said we don't want the exclusive. Pay for the exclusive, whatever they were doing for that, and it
We
became
want
a
our money back.
It became a multi-platform, and this is the same deal. And that game got meh critical response. Not terrible, but meh. And I kind of think Rhyme will also get a resounding
Be
meh.
Resounding meh. Story of your life.
100%. Let's talk about that PlayStation event. September, we're getting a PlayStation event. We assume we're going to get the Neo. We
Probably.
think there might be a new Vita. Probably not.
Trinity.
Rumors are that a light rumor, we may see the new Red Dead there. A much heavier rumor is that Mass Effect Andromeda's gameplay will be revealed there.
Have some
They were asked, are we seeing this game? It's supposed to come out soon, like at Gamescom. And they responded, yes, you're going to see it soon. It seems like it's a PlayStation partnership, which is, once again, the Titanfall thing.
Yeah.
They had Xbox, now they might be switching. We don't know for a fact. Andromeda gameplay. What do we think? Is it time?
More Mass Effect.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah. Not a bad thing.
It's a great thing.
I don't know if I got that far.
I went kind of apeshit over the super duper pre-alpha 30 seconds.
The
of,
jetpack or whatever?
the jetpack and the exploding barrel.
I went nuts over that. So
You're our Mass Effect man, so
He's something.
you could say that.
you like it
I've
a little.
put a pretty
much.
minute into Mass Effect.
Just one?
Yeah, like it makes sense up until 2016 to not say anything about the game because I know they are extremely scared, and very timid about
People not too happy with
no.
3's ending.
end of
There was a
three.
little uproar.
A little.
BioWare fans are very hard to please, and they have a long memory. So
We'll see about that.
They are very much tiptoeing through any sort of reveal.
Do you think that's it, or do you think there's actually a problem? Because I think this game is not coming out Q1 next year, like they say.
Well, the fact that they're saying it's not a problem, we're talking about our other big games first, and then when our other games release, then we'll talk to you about Mass Effect. But then there's like 4 months until it releases.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah,
say
it's not
Mass
far
Effect's supposed to come out soon. Not soon, but
Fairly soon.
5 months, 6 months. We can link this in with the other story. EA said that they're not ruling out the possibility of doing a collection, and that it is actually likely that they will. Do we think that maybe they're going to do a collection of 1, 2, 3, all the DLC, put it out, and then be like, the other one's delayed, but
We gotta
don't
push this other
worry.
one back.
That's
a
what they're
little.
going to do
Here's
on
the
N7
collection.
Day, if they say that, which is November 7th. That's their historic Mass Effect Day each year. If they do that, that's when they'll do it.
Then make that announcement of the
yeah.
collection.
Because they'll hide it behind, hey,
Yeah.
remastered.
By the way.
Because people will still go nuts for it, especially if they tack on all the DLC.
Oh,
Because
they'll have to, yeah.
The problem with the DLC is that it's really expensive because
Because there's a lot of it.
the Xbox Live and anything else doesn't really have sales on it. So they're the 1,600 Microsoft point kind of DLCs where people
Yeah,
are like,
they
I
need
don't
to
know if I
fix
wanna-"
that. I was playing the Final Fantasy 13 thing, and I went on the DLC for it. I was like, I could buy a costume. I don't care. I'm like, why are the costumes like $7 for this game?
That should really scale based on how long the game's been
Yeah.
out.
After a
Like, I
point, it should
understand
be
like
$1.
3 years later, but yeah, at this point,
it was
it
ridiculous.
doesn't need to be 12 or 1,600.
So, do you think we'll see it at the PlayStation event?
A little bit, but I mean,
You think we'll see some
so
of it?
that's what, mid-September is this PlayStation event?
I think it's September 7th, but that's off the top. I'm not.
It's
Couple-
really
it's a
close to
couple weeks
November,
out.
and I know. I mean, same thing as like May the 4th for Star Wars.
Yeah.
I know if you have an event that close to like your premiere day of the year, I don't know. I think you'll see a little bit, but
Do you think we'll see Red Dead?
oh yeah.
You do.
I
How
think-
about you?
I'd
I think we
say-
see Red Dead for sure.
Wow. I think we'll see Mass Effect. I don't think we're going
I'd
to see Red Dead.
say
I want to see Red Dead, so I'm kind of curious.
60% probable to see Red Dead. I'd say
That's fair.
about 30% for Mass Effect.
I'm about that, but flipped.
Flip.
I think we see both. Not a lot of.
That would be a crazy, just like, hey, we have an event.
By the way,
here's this new console. Don't be mad at us. Here's some really cool.
Here's
Yeah,
stuff
if you
people
want
want.
two things to hide behind, those would be the two.
That's very
That's
true.
two good names to hide behind. Yeah.
Maybe
that would
just
be
show
such a
Crash
crazy
Bandicoot
event.
just for some reason.
And here's the Bandicoot.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. The Skylanders Crash Bandicoot stuff was revealed, and it's just a level of Crash Bandicoot, like, redone.
In Skyland,
and it's
yeah.
done by the team that's doing the remaster, and it looks good.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like the Crash design, I think, is fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
They showed off Cortex. He looks like the original Cortex. He looks great. And the level looks like a Crash level. It seems a little bit slow, but that may just be the speed Skylanders move at. I don't know. I don't play Skylanders.
I've never played it. Yeah.
But I was actually very excited seeing the Crash stuff from Skylanders. I was like, if this is the team that's doing the Crash remake, I'm okay
not so
with
bad.
this. Yeah,
100% behind
I was
it. Yeah.
impressed.
I want some Crash.
Yeah.
It'd be good.
Hopefully next year.
Yeah.
I don't think it would take too long to do that. And they've
Oh.
been working on it for a little bit, according to what they say. We'll see.
That's
But,
fine.
let's talk about Metal Gear Solid and how downhill that series is about to go. Metal Gear Survival has been revealed. It got a trailer, and it is a zombie co-op, 4-player co-op zombie game where you're taking out the zombies
Just what we
in
wanted.
the Metal Gear universe.
So it's just Left 4 Dead Metal Gear.
Yeah, let's just say, how can Konami know what we want before we even tell them?
don't
It's
know.
amazing.
Before I even knew I wanted it.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. I guess, yeah, Left 4 Dead in the Metal Gear universe
Pretty much.
is what they're going
That's what it
for.
sounds like.
It's canon, I guess. It takes place in between Ground Zeroes and Metal Gear 5. So it's like Snake leaving from Ground Zeroes, I guess, and then there's just a zombie.
Oh, by the way, there was a zombie
Outbreak.
apocalypse while you were gone.
Yikes.
That's
a-
awesome.
Anybody interested? You, a new Metal Gear player, you don't like
I've
the old
played
ones,
'em.
you like the new
I've
ones.
played 'em all.
You like the
Yeah.
new one. You actually like the new one.
I
though.
like 2, and I like...
You like 2.
Oh, yeah.
You like the
Two-
2 most people don't like.
Exactly.
You're the worst.
What's wrong with that?
But yeah, I like this newest one the best.
Are you interested in zombie Metal Gear?
Not at all. If it had like more memorable characters, like if it was
Oh
just
yeah,
like,
it's just generic person
if
going
it was
down
like,
the
hey,
list.
here's all the cool Metal Gear characters, and it's not
Just
canon,
like
so
a
they
fun,
can
just like a fun.
take 'em
Be
out
like
of
you
the
can play
time.
as Quiet, or you can play as Snake, or you can play as Ocelot. That would be sweet.
Just give me a quiet game.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'll buy that.
Um,
It would be boring though, because she would just
just make
pick
the
'em
game
all off,
super
yeah.
easy. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing without Kojima,
They don't either.
and they clearly
they
don't
didn't
either.
know what to do with him. So
That's true. they were fucking up pretty bad when they had him,
yeah,
and now he's gone, and they're just like zombies.
Let's make
That's what
something
those
up.
kids nowadays want.
Match two things together. See what
Oh
happens.
my
yeah. It has
God.
been a couple years between zombie games, so
Yeah, I haven't seen a zombie game in a while. I really hope this game bombs.
Yeah.
And just is off. Like, I expect it to be bad. I expect it to be a lot like that really bad Resident Evil exclusive for the PlayStation 4, the Umbrella Corp game that did terrible, and it was one of
that
the
game
lowest.
wasn't entertaining though.
That came out.
Exactly. It was like one of the lowest reviewed games of the year. I hope this is just like that. And Konami's like, oh, we fucked up. Like, I hope they realize how terrible they are
Made a terrible
out of this. That is my hope, at least.
We've made a huge mistake.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
Umbrella Corpse was pretty cool.
It was the worst.
It was pretty fun.
It might have been fun to watch
Yeah.
on streams
that's all
because
you
people
need.
just get
Of course.
mad because it's all buggy and awful.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Since we have a lack of zombies and things like that, let's talk
Total
about the
lack.
Resident Evil 7 trailer. It got a new trailer. It was called the Lantern Demo, I believe. This is another separate thing from the full game. They're saying they're being very secretive with the full game. They don't want to spoil it. We'll see what that means.
Well, that's another one like Mass Effect where Capcom has to win people back because
That's
of
true.
where
Oh.
Resident Evil used to be up until like 4, maybe 5.
4.
Well, the first
Whoa, whoa,
third of 5. And then where it's been since. So they are on another
No.
we have to win people back sort of.
I
mission.
agree, but I do think they've won people. Like their reveal, so smart, doing the whole kitchen and then the trailer where everybody's like, "What is this?" and it like makes the 7. That was genius. They put out a new trailer. It has a new villain in it. It's a woman. Very reminds me a lot of PT, Lisa from PT. Even
it's not even a real game.
That's
so
probably why I haven't played it.
even you don't like the spooky scaries though.
Oh no,
you don't like the jump scares. I don't like what they're doing with Resident Evil. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. I liked the old Resident Evils. I liked 4. Even though that was different, I felt it was done well. This reminds me of Outlast and Slenderman and Amnesia and Alien Isolation, where there's like a bad guy and like you gotta get around the house and not get spotted by them. And if they catch you, like, you're dead type thing. I don't like games like that. I don't think they're that scary, and I kind of just find them more frustrating than anything because it's like, here's your goal. It's really simple. You got to turn on that switch, run here, turn on that switch, and go through the door. But there's a guy that just patrols, and you need to get by him. And I don't really like that. I prefer the more streamlined... I'll use the word cinematic, even though it's not. Maybe in 4 it's a little
going
cinematic.
through a house,
but yeah,
through a facility.
Apparently, this does take place in a mansion, though. That I think we figured that out from talking to them.
That's probably the problem, or the only problem with doing it the way they are, is that you don't know, is this going to be what the game's actually like?
Yeah.
Or
is it going to be PT where they were like, hey, is this game like this? And they're like, it's probably third person. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's going to be third person? What are you talking about?
Otherwise, same thing.
I really liked the first thing. I probably would have loved it if PT hadn't come out and just been better.
When did PT come out?
This one looks... I'm so sick of you. I'm going to unplug your mic. I changed my mind. This one looks kind of like generic Outlast, and that worries me. But
the demos do, yeah.
Yes. The demos, right.
Yeah.
So I have no clue how the real game looks. It's 100% playable in VR. That's where I'm going to play it and cry. That's my goal with this one.
I'm looking forward to watching that.
I would play Resident Evil games in VR, especially like 1 and 2. I would not play that in VR.
Just be like the camera.
Ever.
You don't want the lady grabbing you in first person?
And if she actually grabs you, somebody grabs you?
It might be...
No.
It might be too much. I wouldn't be surprised if I play it for like 40 minutes. I'm like, okay. And I'm not worried about like the jump scare. I'm worried about like the sound. I think the sound design in VR, where just the ability of surround sound mixed with that looking and then it's actually behind you type thing.
That's why I love surround sound.
Right. But it's like vision surround sound with it might be too much. We'll see.
I'm excited. I want to see you play it.
Yeah, you're not even going to play it.
I'm not playing it. I'm going to watch you play it. I'm going to throw stuff at you while you're doing it.
Yeah, that's why I got to lock all my doors and stuff when I'm playing VR, because otherwise somebody's going to mess with me. And it's not going to end well for my like $400 headset.
You chuck it.
Jesus Christ. We'll talk about VR, I guess. Star Trek VR. This was revealed at E3, I believe. It was kind of a co-op. Everybody sitting at a different station, and you had to do different objectives on the ship. It looked mediocre, to say the least. It is a $60 game. The price has been revealed.
No.
I'll pass.
All right. That's all I'm going to say about that.
It could be like me and Kellen in the Millennium Falcon.
$60. Here we go.
Yeah.
Well, they had the playable Battlefront VR, and apparently it's amazing. It's just awesome, and you can just fly around on
there's
an X-Wing.
Countless arcade games where they have the
helmets.
Yeah, and it's apparently really pretty. I don't know. I don't think they allowed footage shown. The Star Wars one.
The Star Trek one camera in a helmet
looks awful, though reports were it's like the most fun VR game.
Yeah, it's not $60.
Right, I was just about to say, but $60 is
that sounds like a fun
tall order.
$10 tech demo or something like that.
I agree. Like $15 at most, unless there's way more in this that I don't know about, because I don't like Star Trek. I wouldn't buy this anyway. But unless there's way more in this that I don't know about, it looks like it reminds me of that game with the bomb. Keep talking, and nobody explodes.
Oh.
That game? That's what it reminds me of.
That's what it's styled around? Okay.
I don't know if that's what it's styled around, but yes. Okay. It's like you need to repair the ship and do everything in the right order and things like that.
Okay.
That's kind of odd.
If it was more like a Star Trek game that played like No Man's Sky, but everyone
that would be amazing. But
that's why I think you might actually like Star Trek if you like No Man's Sky that much.
I do like No Man's Sky. I was surprised I like No Man's Sky. The thing about No Man's Sky, I don't like the open world games. I hate.
Oh, this is an open world.
I hate the story and stuff of open world games.
Game.
Yeah,
Lots of worlds.
The thing I liked about No Man's Sky is they don't even try to give you like some sort of story to follow that'll be all disjointed. You make your own story.
I have a story.
And I was like,
following
that's
a
cool.
story.
Kind of. Are you?
Yes.
How far are you? Have you?
Not all that far.
Have you went to the anomaly station?
Yeah. Talk to those two.
Are you? Oh, not that one. Did you find the other one?
Probably not.
The Atlas one?
I mean, the big Atlas. Yeah.
Are you following his
Yes.
path? Okay.
I'm doing his
Interesting.
stuff.
I didn't do that.
I
went in the complete opposite
You
direction.
went the fastest path to the.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm curious.
No, I'm doing the Atlas stuff.
Interesting. I'm curious as to what that is. I have an idea, but I don't know if it's true.
I'm not far enough to
because
know what he
I'm
is.
not going that direction to find out. It is so far away now.
Oh, we're doing that.
I've probably warped like 30 times since then, so it's really far away.
Yeah, I'm following the Atlas stuff.
Last bit of news. I saved the best for last. Some DC news. Injustice 2, new trailer. We got Harley. We got 30 seconds of Deadshot.
And 2 minutes of Harley. Or whatever
Yeah.
And more Harley.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of Harley. Everybody's
and
been
then Harley's in the
wanting it.
Deadshot
They
stuff.
even teased Harley the day before by putting up the hyenas, so everybody knew Harley was coming, or at least Harley and the Joker or whatever. Just Harley. How do we feel?
Not surprised.
Not either.
Not surprised, and NetherRealm still can't make good female faces.
I think Harley looks good. Have you seen Wonder Woman? I think Harley.
I have.
Oh my
I think
God.
Harley looks phenomenal.
Well, maybe compared to that.
Compared to
but there's,
Wonder
like,
Woman, yes.
you have to layer on the makeup and all that stuff too.
That's
so.
true. I think Harley looks fine. I think she's completely passable.
She looks okay.
I think Wonder Woman looks like an atrocity. It's just,
Because you got to buy a
Oh,
truck.
that's not good at all.
it's terrible.
Mortal Kombat games too.
So how do we feel about their design? They went Suicide Squad, but mixed it kind of with the classic.
I'm
They
fine
showed
with that.
like
That doesn't bother me.
4 outfits for Harley?
Yeah, 3 or
something
4.
like
Yeah,
that, too.
the thing is, the game is so customizable with all these armor things and stuff that it almost doesn't matter what they look like.
Yeah.
But I think Harley's design worked better than the movie Harley. I think it makes more sense to make her like a biker chick with a biker jacket and like the goggles and everything. If you're gonna pick a path, then kind of what they did, which was just like,
Like
we'll just put her
90s
in kind of
cheerleader
slutty
and-
clothes.
yeah.
How about that?
I'm fine with that.
Deathstroke just looked like Deathstroke. He looked just like the movie Deathstroke.
I wish he was voiced by Will Smith though in game.
That would be cool. I wouldn't be surprised if we see. It probably won't be Will Smith though. But if we see like their exact costumes in a DLC pack with at least similar voice actors, they can get people that sound like them.
They need to have his what are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
That
They
should
need
be his
line.
ending
Yeah.
screen. That'd be amazing. Looking into it, Deathstroke, I imagine isn't going to be in the game.
Probably
because
not now.
Deadshot looks exactly like Deathstroke from the first game, gameplay-wise,
Yeah.
and honestly, feature-wise. But
Similar style.
Harley, I noticed they changed some stuff. Harley was kind of my main character. Harley and Killer Frost was who I played as, so I noticed that they changed some things. They changed her like circle special attack, which used to pull out a random item that either healed you, hurt the opponent, or you threw a bomb, which is a very big variety and exactly why she never saw play like in tournaments because her move, she had a random move, and that's never good. They changed it, and now it looks like she throws some meat or something, and the hyena goes after it, and if it's charged long enough, it sicks both hyenas. Yay. That was the worst part about playing her. You're like, oh, they have 1 hit left? Can't wait to throw the bomb. And it's like, heal yourself.
You healed.
Like,
yeah.
God damn it.
Well, that is the good thing about the FGC is that it's highly competitive between games. So little stuff like that where, hey, we want our game to have 8 people who could probably see semi-competitive play. Little stuff like that goes a long way towards.
My problem with competitive play in Injustice 2 is just this armor system.
Yeah.
I have no clue
Yeah,
because
it's kinda
it's
odd.
not aesthetic. It changes your stuff. And I know like you can change your laser beams and like the directions they shoot depending on what you have equipped. That's going to be, I don't know if there's just like default. And
So they
that's,
may just have like a default setting.
and
for
that's what they
competitive.
pick, like a tournament mode default or what. But that might be a problem. It'll be like when they did custom moves with Smash. Just be like, you use the default ones.
Yeah.
No. Use the default.
This
And-
amiibo is going to beat everybody in the
And
tournament.
NetherRealm games have semi-short life. Kind of lifetimes in
yeah.
FGC, like as far as like Evos and stuff
They
like that. So it needs to have a system where it's kind of
They definitely have
fair,
shorter lives
yeah.
than most other games in there.
well, and they split it up between Mortal Kombat and that. So
yeah, and the first one was not balanced very well.
No.
That didn't help.
No.
They're like, Superman and Batman, this is fun. And then they're like, here's some DLC characters, and the tournament's just all the DLC characters. I was like,
DLC
this
stuff,
isn't good. All right, cool. Let's move on to some questions. I like this question.
All right.
What's the best spin-off series for a game?
Best spin-off?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
So,
Persona.
that's actually just the correct answer.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
fair
a
enough.
spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei.
Yeah.
Huh. Damn it. I thought I had a good answer. I was going to say
What did you
Mario Kart.
Oh, okay.
That's fair.
Or Mario Party or Persona Arena was my other one.
It's a
But
spin-off of a spin-off.
but man, yeah, Persona might actually just be the correct answer.
Yeah.
They did Shin Megami Tensei Persona, and then they did Shin Megami Tensei Persona 2 and
There's
Persona 2
2 or 3. There's like Eternal Sins.
Eternal
There's like
Sin
3
and like
Persona
Innocent
2s.
Innocent Blood or
something.
something.
No, I was gonna say Innocent Blood
No,
too.
that's not it.
And I was like, I don't think that's right. Yeah, and then they just spun it off because it was so
Oh, yeah.
popular.
And there's like 4 versions of 3.
Your turn. Come up with a good
I
one.
have
'cause
no idea. No idea.
I thought
Halo Wars off of Halo. I don't know.
that's not bad.
I like Halo
I was thinking Crash Team Racing.
Yeah.
It's not a bad one.
You could probably say something Star Wars.
Yeah,
but
they're all
There's not
technically-
really like a main Star Wars series, so
Yeah, that's not.
all of it's spin-off.
Yeah, it's
technically.
a spin-off of the game, but no,
Slow
I actually.
tour off of KOTOR, I guess. I don't know.
Is there any other games that were complete spin-offs of something else like that? Like they made a franchise out of a spin-off. Is there anything else?
Probably, but
I mean, like they tried to do it with like Metal Gear with like the Raiden Revengeance thing. I don't think it worked, but they
No.
tried to do it.
Worth a shot.
you could probably name some fighting games and stuff like that too. I mean, like a Tekken versus Street Fighter, whatever.
Like a crossover.
Yeah, those
Smash.
Kind
Yeah.
of.
Smash is just like
Those
the
are kinda
ultimate.
Smash is
spin-offs.
just a crossover.
Yeah, I consider that more of a
PlayStation
crossover
All
than a
Stars.
spin-off.
There you go.
Crash Team Racing.
That's definitely a spin-off, and that's a good game.
Oh yeah.
We might.
It's fine.
We still might talk about it, depending on what Yoda wants us to when we get there.
Fair enough.
Let's do this one. I don't know if we did this. But
What?
I'm throwing it anyway. Telltale. They make those story-driven games. What series would we like?
How
from
do I
Telltale?
want? I don't care.
There's a rumored Mr. Robot series that turned out to be like a phone game or
Mr.
something.
Robot.
Yeah, the TV show. Super popular. People like it. New season's apparently awful. I don't know anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
What series would you like? Anything. You can go crazy.
Let's get a Persona Telltale game.
Okay, where everything is just going to be Persona.
Yeah, sure, why not?
This is just actually a Persona
I
podcast.
would like a 24.
That's a good idea.
Kiefer Sutherland 24.
Yeah.
Telltale game because
a
Telltale
good
games
idea,
are
too.
already very time.
You got some good
intensive.
ideas up there.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
Comes and
They're
goes.
already very time intensive, and 24 the show itself
It's
is
literally on a timer.
yeah. It's you see a timer at least.
You go to a
every, like,
commercial
7
break and it
minutes.
shows you the time. You come
Um,
back and it shows you the time.
So I think that's a good combination. Plus, Kiefer Sutherland's already into voice acting.
Yeah.
He's
So
alright.
that would be
That's a really good answer.
a dream come true for me.
I do like Kiefer.
That would make
Did
me like
you-
Telltale games.
Did you play the PS2 24 game?
Yes.
Was it terrible?
No.
It was okay. I saw that
Yeah.
on GameFly. It was one of the things I
I
considered.
should have ordered
It
it.
was actually really good.
Huh.
Should have ordered it.
Thought
I mean,
about
it's
it.
never going to be at the top of like Metacritic.
Oh,
good,
no.
But as someone who watched the show, because I think it was between 2 seasons, like it tied 2 seasons together, like maybe 2 and 3. It did a really good job of that. Plus you got to interrogate people, and yeah, it was really
I
fun.
want something that is horror based. We had Wolf Among Us, which had like elements of it, but I want
Which was
like
the best one, by the way.
that is the best one. Besides maybe Batman, I haven't played Batman.
Ooh, James Bond. There we go.
That'd be cool too.
I'd do that. He's one of the JBs. Bond Bauer.
That's
Yeah.
true. I would want some slasher movie. Probably Scream because it's got enough comedy in it that I feel like you could balance it and make a game that's not just like
terrifying.
Yeah.
Just scare people.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
So probably I would want like Scream, just a standalone story that has nothing to do with the
Just its
movies or
own
the
thing.
TV show.
Yeah,
I've also been watching the TV show, so that's part of the reason.
fair enough.
So, whatever. James Bond. Do you want like a specific movie, or do you want a brand
I
new
don't
story?
care. A new one, something different.
You don't want Jaws? You want the return of Jaws?
Not really, no.
Oh my
Something
god, the best character.
He's all right.
I like Odd Job.
You would.
Too. Any of the JBs kind of works.
Yeah,
I mean,
That
just
style.
that whole like
Spectrum.
character
Something with-
archetype just
yeah.
works for Telltale games. So
That's fair.
even the Bourne games would be cool, especially like choosing multiple paths and like I don't know, get
And
busted
it
by
all
like
just-
the CIA and you could get caught over here and whatever. So
it all just kind of fits.
yeah, that whole just character sort of works.
We'll try this question. I'm not sure, but we'll try it.
Oh, God.
Are trilogies damaging to stories for games? So basically, knowing that a game is going to be a franchise going into making your game. I imagine Watch Dogs would be a good example of this. I'm sure they knew they were making a Watch Dogs 2 when they were working on Watch Dogs. Is that damaging? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea?
If you know it going in, it's fine because you can plan for it.
But you shouldn't like shift halfway through and be
No,
like,
that's just kind of weird, but
I have an example.
Or last minute
or last minute, yeah.
with Mass Effect 3.
What was that?
Oh yeah, they made a big shift at the end.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I'll jump on it before you lay your ideas out. I want to say it depends on the game. If it's like a Watch Dogs, where it's action first, story second, it's not that big a deal. I think the biggest problem is that it makes people lazy. Oh, we can fix it in the next
That
one.
game's like story third or fourth.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's a story, to be dead honest.
Yeah,
So
it's not
like,
important.
Okay, we know we're going to make a Watch Dogs 2. We can get kind of lazy and just put it out now. And, we'll fix all these complaints in the next one.
That is
Sort of thing. So just kind of like sweeping under the rug. But yeah, if it's an RPG and you know going in, I don't think it's as bad because...
We're getting here.
Because, yeah, you know, you can tie up loose ends or have a returning character or something like that come back in the next game sort of thing. So it's the same excuse, but it's easier to do on RPGs when it's story
And the
first.
story's in the front.
But when it's action first and, like, everything else, and it's like, let's sprinkle a story in there, then
We'll just make up a character and they'll show
it shows itself a little more.
Okay, I think it's terrible. And the prime example I would use is Final Fantasy 13. They made that game, and they released it, and people loved it, and it got critical praise, and they were like, let's make more of them, and
See,
they ordered a
if
second
they'd been
one,
prepared
and they
and just-
ordered a third one, and then it was a complete disaster from there. I don't know if this is a spoiler. It is a spoiler,
Well,
but
nobody
the
cares,
second
though.
one ends with "to be continued," which is the worst thing
Yeah.
you can
Yeah, don't ever
possibly
do that.
Oh my god, I
Well, it
was so
sounds
pissed.
like they wanted to do one, but then when it had a good reception,
that's
then
true.
they did two
and not
three.
even that.
Yeah.
This is why I'm. 15 was originally called Versus 13, and I'm almost confident that the gang from 15 were gonna go against the gang from 13 in the story.
They're in a gang?
They're in a gang, yes.
I would put my money on 15's gang.
Boy band?
Oh, yeah.
I would not.
In the car.
Oh, I would.
The car is
defi-
awesome.
I definitely would not.
Soundtrack's awesome, too.
There's
so
a
far.
the soundtrack's awesome in all the Final Fantasies. That's the best part of the games. Probably is the soundtrack.
Definitely not the stories.
Fair enough.
The story is a weaker part for sure.
Oh, yeah.
The characters are probably it's probably
I like their
probably
weapons.
gameplay, soundtrack, characters, story somewhere.
Stories
You can just watch the movies and realize the stories are not
are pretty mediocre.
because they're awful.
I did buy 3 Final Fantasies this week, so
Yeah, that's true. There is a flash sale. It'll be over by the time this goes live. But
unfortunately.
Tactics was $3, I think.
Yeah, they were all $3. I spent
Six
$9.
was $3 and
9 was $3.
9.
Tactics could probably go into your what's the best spinoff.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I'm excited to play that game. It's supposed to be
There's
fantastic.
a lot of people who would say that.
A lot of people say it's the best Final Fantasy, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is a very common opinion.
And I'll
I
probably
wanted to
play-
transition into the unpopular opinion, but Gareth messed me up. We gotta do the releases.
Do we?
There's important games coming out.
There's at least one game I'm very excited for. and
I'll
will
probably
be
skip it
getting.
just to spite you.
You won't know what it is.
Yeah, you're right. I'm skipping one of these, though.
Is it the PC only games?
No.
Okay.
All right.
So what releases are coming out this week?
We'll open up with Alone With You, the PS4 and Vita. Sci-fi exploration game with romantic storytelling elements. That's an odd combination, but it's on Vita, so you'll probably buy it.
I probably won't buy it, but interesting.
Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Xbone, PS4, PC. Next installment of the RPG Deus Ex series. Go.
What's it about?
What do you got?
A general synopsis that you know. I know you black out
Deus
more
Ex,
on
and
games than we
the
do.
most recent one before this one is the same main character. Basically, it's RPG. It's open world. It sounds like this one's based in one city, whereas the other one, Human Revolution, was multiple cities. So one big city, I think it's Prague, is where they're at. So basically, you're not really a cyborg. You're a human who has
You have augments.
a lot of
tech.
augmentations, and it's very political, not as in like governments, but like as in humans versus
commentary, like political commentary.
Yeah, humans versus people with augmentations. So there's a lot of you can call it race. They give a lot of slang names to people with augmentation, so it's very tense.
I'm gonna be honest. I watched the trailer for it, and it looked cool.
Yeah.
I might play the first one. I have
It's
it.
I have it also and need
Yeah.
to play.
It's
I just
very
haven't
might
done
play
it.
the first one.
cyberpunk
Or
also.
the first one.
Well,
But yeah, it's real gritty. It's real kind of tense. It's real dark. So,
just turn the brightness up. Oh.
but yeah, Deus Ex is kind of like
it sounds like a game I would like, except for the first person part of it. That's like the only negative.
Except for
I have
the
against
first person
Deus
open world
Ex is
part.
kind of like the grandfather of like choice-based RPGs. It's just been around for a long time.
I might try it out.
So
Human Revolution.
yeah.
I always say Revelation.
But
'Cause you're dumb.
Human Revolution and this one, its big claim to fame as far as the gameplay goes is that you have multiple paths. So in a room like this, there would be an air vent, there would be an armed guard, you'd have a gun, there's maybe a door beside you. You can go multiple different ways, or behind you. And there's also a computer station right here. So you could hack the
Halfway there.
guys.
Are we in Deus
intercom
Ex?
and make it sound like someone's
What's the guard doing over there?
Yikes.
Make it sound like someone's calling him to another room, so he leaves. You could go in the air vent, go around. You could go through the door, go around.
Is that what you mean by
Shoot him.
choice?
Yeah.
Though you don't mean choice as in like Mass Effect, like, hey,
I'm gonna
Yeah,
kill
you
you or
do.
you. Which
there's
one am I
4
killing?
things that
You
I
do
can
get
think of.
those. You get
It's
plot,
both.
You get plot choices, but you get
I might play the first one. I might try it. Try it. The second one. How many is there?
a lot.
You might
I might
try it.
play
There's a
the
handful.
PlayStation 3 one.
You might try
Human
the
Revolution?
Human
Yeah.
Revolution.
Yeah, that one and this one have the same main characters. It's like a few years apart.
2 years, according to Gareth.
Okay. So yeah, that's
good
the
for
choice, and then at the end of like that mission, hey, there'll be a big kind of plot point, and you can choose where to go and get like
You might have
4 or
sold
5
me.
endings. So, yeah,
And that
one of
trailer
those.
helped.
The trailer looked really
The
good.
gameplay and all that look real good, real clean, but sounds like early reviews are talking about
Bug. I heard it's
bugs.
very buggy. Yeah.
So
We'll
Yeah.
see.
Oh well. Next we get Hue for the Xbone, PS4, Vita, and PC. 2D puzzle game where changing the color of the background within the game alters the world around you. Is that
It
it?
just sounds cool.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I'm
You're
gonna
not
say
going to
that.
know which one it is, except you're going to say, is that it to everyone now?
Maybe. The Huntsman, Winter's Curse, PS4. Huntsman, Winter's Curse, a narrative-driven interactive fantasy fiction game with a card-based combat system set in the universe of Snow White and the Huntsman.
Sounds awful.
That's
It's
a
not
lot
that.
of stuff.
fantasy fiction card-based combat. So it's like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Fantasy
Is
fiction
there
game.
fantasy nonfiction? Is that a thing? I don't think so.
We're going to invent it. Inside for the PS4. Former Xbox PC exclusive from Limbo coming to PS4.
I'll be playing that. I didn't even know that was coming out.
Hey, that's coming out.
That game is supposed to be phenomenal.
I've heard good things about it.
Yeah.
King of Fighters 14 for the PS4. Newest King of Fighters. The first one, it's entirely in 3D. Anybody play King of Fighters?
No, but this one does not look terrible.
It looks pretty
It
interesting.
looked terrible for a long time, but they've like slowly been cleaning it up, graphics-wise. And King of Fighters is pretty high up there as far as the the old guard of fighting games.
Yeah, it was
So
real
it's-
popular back in the day.
It's going to get a lot of people. Well, a lot is kind of
And I feel
a
like
loose
people
term, but
feel a little burnt from Street Fighter.
yeah.
That didn't go so well.
That's
Well,
fair. Yeah.
But it's still the big guy as far as the tournaments go. As far as pulling,
As far as tournaments go, but as
stream
far as
numbers
sales
and- yeah.
sales went,
sales, is
it
terrible.
was terrible.
And Capcom is not making it any better as far as like delaying DLC
Yeah.
and
Not fixing
features and stuff. I think King of Fighters, Tekken, like even Injustice maybe might just get more hype just so it kind
it
of
because they function.
knocks Street Fighter down few pegs. So
Oh well.
That's not it either. Keep going.
Madden 17
It's definitely
that's the one.
for the Xboxes and the PlayStations. We all know what that is.
Is that coming to 360 and PS3?
Xbone 360, PS4, PS3.
I wasn't
Still
sure.
doing that, huh?
Yeah, I figured that ended
I
last
think
year.
those were the last games to leave the PS2. Like they were making them for like 4 years after the PS2.
The
Yeah.
only games.
They keep going.
Yeah,
for a
they
while.
were. I think they were the only games for PS2 for like a solid like 2 years.
Well, they probably still sold fairly well.
I'm sure they did.
Yep.
Metrico Plus for the PS4 and PC.
You got it.
Input-driven game in a world of infographics. Bar charts, line diagrams, and pie charts react to what you're doing. Combination of exploration, skill, experimentation, and thinking outside the box.
Yeah, I really like this game. It was a Vita exclusive. I have it on my list of my favorite Vita games. Basically, you walk up to... It's very, very simplistic. You're a stick figure, basically. And you hit a button, and a bar graph goes... Doop, and you're like, all right. I hit it again, and it lowers. And you're like, okay, and that's what that button does. And then you tilt the thing, and something like falls. And you're like, okay. And you hit circle, and it does something else. And you just need to experiment until you know like what everything in the environment does. And then it's a puzzle to figure out how to get to the end of the environment using everything you've learned. I really liked it on the Vita. It used...
Everything?
Literally everything.
Everything, yeah.
I believe you had to like hold the Vita up to different colors to change the color of things too. Like it used the cameras and all that stuff. I'm interested in what they do for this, and I know that there is a discount if you own it on the Vita for the PlayStation 4 version, though I do not know what the discount is. I'm very excited for that though. I loved Metrico.
Okay.
Game's great.
Doesn't sound it.
That's all you.
It's fantastic.
What's all you?
It's a really good puzzle game.
If you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a puzzle game.
Sounds like a puzzle game.
Yeah.
August 24th, Valley, Xbone, PS4, and Steam. First-person adventure game set in the Rocky Mountains.
Now we're talking.
With the power of a recently discovered Leaf suit, leap effortlessly through air functionality. That's what LEAP stands for.
I thought he meant a suit made of leaves.
No.
when he
I was
said-
thinking like Mario. Like
a little leaf. Run and jump your way through forests, dangerous ruins, blah, blah, blah. You're exploring the Rocky Mountains.
No, I'm not.
I would play in VR
Fair enough. That would be a good VR game. That's fair.
only because I can't be there in person.
I don't want to do any sort of soaring in.
They should put Titanfall in VR.
That sounds awful too.
Sounds awesome.
That does sound amazing.
That sounds like you're gonna throw up.
Not if I don't eat too much. You're fine.
Yeah, I want to fly in VR, like skydiving or something like, so I can put like a fan.
You
in front
want
of
to
me
get a
and-
wingsuit?
They could
VR
make
game?
that game. What was the game? Steep. The terrible Ubisoft reveal game where you're on the mountain and you can snowboard down, or you can
Oh,
parachute
yeah.
down, or you can do whatever you want.
The game
down
nobody asked
mountain.
for, but we're getting anyways.
Metal Gear Survival.
That too. August 25th, The Legend of Kusakari, 3DS. Shibakari is a humble grass cutter whose job is to keep the fields pristine so the heroes that battle monsters don't get their feet tangled in grass and weeds.
That's awesome.
Puzzle-like action approach as you maneuver your lawn care professional around the battlefield, dodging enemies and cutting grass.
Lawn care professional.
That's what it says.
Is this game sponsored by John Deere?
Nothing runs like a deer. So you're cutting grass in a battlefield
That's awesome.
instead of actually fighting. I kind of like it.
I like it too.
Master of Orion PC. Full release of a remastered collection of the original Masters of Orion sci-fi strategy games. Release includes the original games, a brand new remastered soundtrack, digital art book, and a new race to play in the remastered games.
Cool.
All right. The Other 99 PC. Full release of an early access game, mystery survival game where you must interact with 99 other people stranded on an island with you in order to escape. Each person has their own unique story. Some may be brutally murdering them. All in your
You
best
caught my
interest.
attention. At the last sentence.
Sounds like a good TV show.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in Metrico. And what was... Inside?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, the Xbox Limbo guys. Yeah. Inside.
Yeah, because I wanted to play it on Xbox, and I just never got around to it. And now I get trophies. It's just way better.
Yikes.
So let's move on to the unpopular opinion, which is now Yoda's head.
Yoda's unpopular
Just
opinion.
got a bunch of unpopular opinions in there. We'll pull them out, and we'll talk about
These
it.
are probably all Kevin's opinions, so, you know.
They are not. I think at least one of these might be an opinion that Nick may share, though. I don't know.
Yikes.
I share a couple of them.
Well,
Well, we
I've
might pull
actually-
one. We might pull two. We'll see.
Written a couple of these in the past, so
it's fair.
The Vita is better than the 3DS by Snook. This is just a fact.
It's a better piece of hardware.
The
100%.
Vita is definitely a better piece of hardware.
100%,
I
yeah.
think. I personally think game-wise, I have way more fun
No.
on my Vita than the 3DS. I still only have two 3DS games.
Yeah, you
and I
can't play.
hated
You
both
can't
of
play
them.
Pokemon on a Vita. You can play it
Yeah.
on a 3DS
That's-
sure.
that's kind of case in point. You
That's
can't
all
play
I need, really.
Pokemon,
Oh
or
my
Phoenix Wright.
but you get Persona.
I have a Persona on my
but there's
3DS.
more Pokemon games, so
You have a. It's not a very good Persona. to
I
be
didn't
fair.
never claimed it was. I have Phoenix Wright, Persona, Monster
That's
Hunter.
fair. You get Danganronpa.
Yeah.
You get Freedom Wars.
I have Freedom Where I literally haven't opened it.
They're pretty parallel, actually. I think almost the thing that you really don't.
But you can
get-
literally only play Pokemon on the 3DS. I can play Danganronpa on my computer.
Now you can, yeah. They just released them.
They've been out for a little while. Actually.
Hyper Dimension Neptunia,
Okay.
Killzone, Little Big Planet, Uncharted.
Yeah, these are PS4 games.
Uncharted's not. No, that's not true. Yeah, they're
is
definitely.
the Vita better though without a PlayStation 3, 4, any of that stuff?
I
So
would-
if you just
I
have
was
a
about-
Vita
I was about to
and
bring
you
that
just
up.
have a 3DS,
I think so because that's how I had it. Also, the Vita has a bigger library of games for
Yeah,
sure.
it has all the PS1 classics all
and
that stuff.
including it also has PS1 games, it also has some PS2 games, it also has ports of PS3 games, and then it has its own games. I also think the Vita
because it's a better piece of hardware and they can do that. Yeah.
yeah, I also personally think the Vita feels way better. You like the 3DS better, right?
Yeah, that's why I didn't buy a Vita.
Like feel wise.
That was part of it. That's why I got a Vita TV.
How about
I
you?
usually
Yeah, you have the Vita TV. How about you? You
I usually
actually
have,
have
a
both.
3DS sitting on a table or like usually in my lap. I hardly ever like
Hold it. That's
lie
my
back
problem.
and play it.
I lay in
or-
my bed and play the games. Like
Oh, good luck with
I was
that.
playing Virtue's Last Reward last night, and I just lay in bed and play it. I lay in bed with the Vita, and there's two screens. I can't look at the top one without like leaning my head back. I hate it.
That's because your coordination sucks.
That's true. And then there's that stupid Kid Icarus game that you have to play with the
Oh,
wrong
yeah, I didn't
hand,
play
and I'm
that game.
left-handed, and I can't even hold the thing.
I think
That game
game
came with a
library
stand.
for me is real close because 3DS means Fire Emblem
Fire Emblem, yeah.
and Pokemon and things that I can sink hundreds of hours into.
That's fair.
Whereas
Good portables.
number
Yeah, it's
wise,
a portable slot.
the
You have
Vita,
Literally plugged into your TV.
My Vita.
I don't
Not
know.
my 3DS.
It's really close in games, but hardware wise, it's not close
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, the Vita's
the way it feels,
much
it's
better
not
piece of
close at
hardware.
all.
What about price point? Do we know? I think they're both the same.
They're pretty similar
yeah,
now.
but I tend to buy the super awesome Zelda version.
Yeah, I mean, I have the Zelda
Your
3DS and the
Pikachu-
Persona
your Pikachu
Vita,
3DS.
but
Yeah.
I was just curious if we
Yeah.
knew. I think they're both 200.
We're pretty close.
That's
I
my
think.
guess.
Yeah.
But you have to buy a memory card for the Vita. That's actually the biggest nail, like in the coffin for the Vita. Honestly, we're gonna do
Yeah.
one more.
It's real close though.
It is close. I think you're fine.
it
I,
just-
I
I
will
like
say,
both.
if you were buying one now, I think you should. I guess wait till September, see if there's a new
See
Vita,
what happens. Yeah.
and then get the Vita probably, because I think the NX is going to be a portable thing.
Yeah, I just don't want them to kill the 3DS.
It really just comes down to game preference, basically.
Which
Here
is
we go.
Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
By Ollie, Splatoon is overrated. So I saw this and I was like, really?
You did that.
I just threw it away. I think Splatoon might be the best game on the Wii U, and I honestly feel that way.
It's top 3 at least.
What do you got for your top 3?
That Probably this Tokyo Mirage thing.
That's fair.
And
It's probably top 5.
and probably Smash Brothers. I don't know.
That's just like a good game.
Yeah,
The
it's
Smash
just a good-
Bros. is
it's just a
really
good
well
game,
done.
yeah.
Even though I don't play it very much,
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
know it's pretty good.
Does Xenoblade getting brought over to the Wii U count?
Sure.
Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one.
That game's a lot of fun,
Uh,
actually.
wasn't there?
So good.
Didn't it have a sequel though?
Yeah, the sequel's pretty good too.
Xenoblade.
But the first
that's-
one's better.
Yeah, the first one's got Shulk. So,
All right.
Tokyo Mirage 1, Smash 2, Xenoblade 3, and then if that
But
counts.
we still think Splatoon is in the top.
Yeah,
do
Splatoon's
we
very
think it's
good.
yeah, I think it's a great game. I think it's the best shooter where you're not using bullets. Probably.
you're not using bullets.
I mean, that's fair.
You know that huge category of game shooters where you don't use
oh,
bullets?
yeah.
I think Splatoon is at the top of
yeah,
that.
it's
Got
the
it.
only one I can think of.
And I, more than probably any other game, I want a Splatoon 2 like, on the NX. I really want a Splatoon 2.
Good luck.
I think we'll get it.
Eventually, yeah.
That game sold incredibly well.
I think they will
Yeah.
eventually.
And it also, I think it did DLC probably better than any other game. I love the way
The
they
maps
did
are a
DLC.
little odd. The rotating map thing was a little odd, but you get
That's
used
fair.
to it.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, it was a little
Um,
odd, but
But yeah, just the way they did DLC, where they're like, "Here's a new map, it's free. Here's a new map." They added
They just
free
give you-
stuff
literally
all
just
the
give you
time,
stuff, yeah.
every week, and then they had Splatfest to keep you playing.
the
where
Splatfests were fun, yeah.
on weekends they would make you choose a side, like hamburger, hot dog.
Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue.
Yeah, and you pick a side and you fight for that side, and you get ranked up only in people on that team with people on that team, and you have a rank that is dependent on how long you've played during that weekend for that side, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
I think it did so much right. And yeah, like my negatives for that game are like, yeah, the rotating map, I don't understand. Like the first time it happened, I'm like, oh, okay, this is neat.
That's kinda weird,
And I'm
yeah.
like, 4 hours is a long time. And like, if you can only play for an hour a day, it sucks because you're playing the same map
If you hit
every
the
time.
same, well, there was
Like-
2 or 3 maps depending on the game mode. Yeah,
Yeah, but like if you wanted to play ranked,
yeah.
there's only like one ranked set of there's 2 maps and one ranked.
You
and,
get
like,
one of those
If
two
you
and
have an
that's it.
hour to play, it is possible you literally only play on the same map that whole hour.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
So that was kind of mediocre. And at first I was like, oh, this is cool. And then like when the maps rotated and I realized how not cool it was, I was like, why?
It's like I don't like either of these. I'm stuck here.
What's the advantage of this? I don't understand. I think the advantage was because you can't change your weapons and stuff mid match.
Yeah,
You picked your loadout for that particular.
you had to prep for the maps that were
and
available.
then you go into it. But I don't feel like I just use the same weapon
because some of
all
those
the
weapons
time.
are very specific. Unlike Kevin, it
That
matters what
sounds
weapon you have.
like the old like Battlefield 2 problem where you get to vote on maps and
You're already
there were-
locked in.
There were maybe 14, 16 maps
You only
total.
played 3 of them, maybe.
You only played 3 because they were
you
very,
voted on
yeah, so
all the time.
It wasn't
All the time.
rotational
That's my problem
where
with
a
Halo.
computer was picking it for you, but you were locked in to like
That's-
the same 1 or 2 maps.
There was a couple maps, yeah.
That's my problem with Halo, the Master Chief Collection. When you go in, because it's like game mode and map, and you're just always playing the same game modes on the same maps. I'm like, for the
There's a
love
lot of
of
bad things with that
for the-
collection.
I haven't had any problems with it.
But anyway, of
course, I'm just playing the single player.
overrated or not?
No, I love that game.
Easily top 5.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a great game.
I think Ollie's wrong.
Okay.
Terrible opinion. It's
That's why
like
it's
you.
unpopular.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess that's good enough. Thank you so much for watching the Press X podcast. Thank you for being here, Kellen.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, Nick.
Yup.
And he didn't die.
That's true. We'll speak with you next time.